Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel जिसका नाम है eTechno Mantra. So in last video we saw about the introduction of C language, Linux environment and basic commands of Linux environment. So in this video we are going to discuss some of the different topics. So like hello world program in C language. Then if you write any program you need to follow one standard structure. So that's why we will see the next topic is C program structure. Once you write the program by following the standard C program structure, then you need to compile the program. For what? To convert your program to machine understandable. That's why you need a compiler to compile the program and convert this program to machine understandable program. So now the next topic is like stages of compiler. When you compile your program, it's convert from C program to machine understandable program. So there are different stages present in between this. So we will see all this topic in detail, how it's going on. So now we are moved towards our first topic, so that is C program structure. So if you need to write any C program, you need to follow one standard program structure. So this is the C program structure. If you want to write a C program, you need to follow this structure. So at the first moment, you guys just focus on the left side of the board. What is the step? Don't be much more focused on what I write in the right side. That is a code. That is one basic program I take as an example. So based on this, I will explain you the different content in the C program structure. So now, whenever you need to write any C program, first you need to add the header file. So that is a header file. If you want to write any C program, you need to add a header file. So I write here one stdio.h as a header file. This stdio.h is a system header file. So now your question is, what is a header file? So header file is a file which is an extension with .h. If the file extension with .h, that is we call this is a header file. So header file containing the C function declaration and micro declaration. In this header file, what inside the header file is present? C function declaration and micro definitions. Okay, so that is a header file. So how we can add? I use here preprocessor directive. That is hash include is a preprocessor directive. So what is a preprocessor directive? When I explain you a micro and directive, that time I explain you what exactly it is. But in that moment, just to understand what we need to add first. So whenever you need to write any program, you need to add first a header file. So that is our first point. Then after header file, you need to add some global variable or global space. That is from header file up to here before main function. This part is a global part. Here you can do your global declaration. For example, if you want to define any micro, this one has defined unsign in uint is equal to unsign in. This is micro. Micro is simple word. What is this? Whatever you write after hash define, it is replaced with the third parameter. So whenever I explain you micro in detail, that time you got this concept. But now just in that moment, you just remember we can add after header file globally as a micro definitions. Also we can add prototype, function prototype also if you want to write any user defined function. So I write one function dummy is a user defined function. So for this type of function you need to add a prototype upward size. So we need to add globally prototype. So function prototype I define here. So that is the function prototype. Don't worry about it. Whenever we see the function topic, that time I explain you what is function and how can we define it and how can we write it and how we can access the function and we go jump on the function. Everything, each point I will explain you in deep. So in that moment, just you understand, we can add micros in globally, function prototype in globally and also a variable. So this is integer a is equal to 10 is one variable. So what is integer? Integer is a data type. So when we see this topic, that time I explain you. So now integer is equal to a is equal to 10. This is a global variable. If you define a variable above main, that is a global variable. So these all are a global, all present in a global space. So this is point. First, you need to add header file, then you need to add global declarations or micro, function prototype and global variable. Or if you want to use, then only you need to mention is a global. If you don't want to use micro, no need to write. If you don't want to use function prototype, user defined function, then no need to write. And same as a global variable. If you want, you can use, otherwise no need. So next is a main function. So whenever you need to write any C program, you use a main function. Why we are using main function? I will explain you when we write about our first program, that is hello world program. So now in that moment, just to remember, after that we write the main function. So main function is our starting function. That's why I write here start of main function. Inside the main function, you can see here curly braces. That is open curly braces and this is close curly braces. Inside these two braces, we write our logic and all program. So now we will see what we have added inside it. So that is our main function. So from open curly braces to close curly braces, this is our body of main function. So this is our body. So inside this we need to write all the variable, that is local variable. If you write inside the main, the variable is local variable. If you write upward side of the main, that is global variable. So now we need to define all the local variable, whatever we need to use in our whole program, we need to write a first. So that is after main, we need to write a local variable. After that, your statement. Here I write one statement like printf hello world. What this will do? This will print hello world on your monitor. So now this is one statement. Also you can add condition, branches. We will simply call as a logic. So after this declaration, you need to write your logic. Also, if you write user-defined function, so here I use one funny function underscore dummy is a user-defined function. To invoke this function, we need to write the function. We need to write a function call. So that's why here I write function name. Here is a passing parameter is an integer. So that's why I pass this integer here. Here I receive, and that is a function. This function is invoking from here dummy function of b. So this is a function call. After that, close braces means add of function. So this is some type. So whenever you need to write a program, you need to follow this structure. After that, once your main function is closed, then you need to mention a user defined function. So that is a body of user defined function. Is a function of dummy. So function underscore dummy is user defined function. That is we write it. Main function is a system function. We can directly call main. Main is invoking from our compiler, our system. So main is a by default function which is invoked. So whenever you need to write a code, you can use a main. Also without using main also you can write a program. That I will explain you later. So now just we are summarize a step. So step number 1, you need to add a header file. After that, step number 2, you need to add all global declaration like macros, function prototype or global variable. After that, you need to write your logic inside the main function. Okay, so that is a main function, void is a return type, and passing parameter also void. So what is this? When we see the function, that time I explain you all void is what is passing parameter, what is function name, and all the things. So now this, after that, once you declare the global variable, after that you need to write the main function. Inside the main function, if you want to use local variable, write there, and whatever your logic, statement, everything you need to write inside the main. Also, if you want to write any user-defined function, you can invoke through the main, and after that you need to write user-defined function. So that is a whole C program structure. So I think so you understand what is the parameter present in C program structure. Now we will see how to write a hello world program. So that is our next point. So to understand the C programming, we will go step by step. First we see the basics program and then we go to the next level. So now we will see the first program, that is hello world program. So already I explained you the structure of C programming. So if you want to write a hello world program, we will follow this structure. So what is the first step? So first step is we need to add header file first. So we will add our header file, that is the system header file, hash include and stdio.h. So this is our system header file. After that, the second step is we need to add a global declarations. So if we want to write the hello world program, we need any function prototype? No. We need any macro? No. We need any global variable? No. That's why this second step we skip. Then after that, we need to write the third step, that is main function. So I write here directly main function, return type is an void, function name is main, and passing parameter also void. So that is a main function. We write the main function first. After that, there is a open braces and curly braces. So this is our main function body. Next point is after main function, we write a local variable. If you want to use any local variable, we write after main function. But for hello world program, we no need to write any local variable. So the next step is we will need to write our statement, that is our logic. So what is our logic? We need to write a program for print hello world. So what is the function is used for printing anything on monitor, that is printf. So if you want anything print on a monitor, you need to use a function like printf, open bracket, close bracket. Inside this we need to use double colon and lastly semicolon. So whenever you are write any C program, you need to more focus on syntax. If your syntax get wrong, it will throw an error while compiling. So now we write our function to print hello world. What? Printf, open bracket, close bracket, inside this double column and semicolon. So inside this double colon, if you want to write print anything, you can write. So what you want to print now? Hello world. Just I write here hello words. So if I write hello words, this program print hello world in your monitor. That is so easy. If you want to learn C program, it's too easy. Just you need to believe in yourself that C language is totally Isaiah language. So no need to worry about it. If you see this hello world program, it is a Isaiah program in C language. Next I will explain you such type of program, some next level program, high level program also. But this also is easier to understand. Just you need to focus and you need to analyze, understand the concept. So this is a hello world program. I think so you understand this hello world program, how we can write it, and now we will see how this hello world program executed and compiled in our Linux environment. So now we move towards our PC screen where I will show you practically how this hello world program is written in Linux environment and and compile and execute. So now we will move towards our PC screen. I already explained you how to write a hello world program. So we will see how we can write a hello world program and compile practically in Linux environment. So this is a Linux environment. I already explained you a command to open a terminal, that is Alt Control plus T. Also by right clicking of your mouse, you got one pop-up, that is, and here you got an option like open terminal. Just click on it, your terminal is here. So just I maximize the terminal. Now we can see if you want to write a code, then we need one editor. Many times you can use a notepad also, but in Linux environment, Linux provide you a VI editor, which is similar to other editor and very flexible also. So we will see how the VI editor works. So VI editor is basically provided by a Linux environment and which is work in a 3 different mode, that is command mode, insert mode and escape mode. So whenever you open your VI editor, by default it is present in a command mode. So when you are enter in a command mode, by default when we open up editor, then you need to go a insert mode to write your code. So that's why you need to simply press I. Whenever you press I, it will goes into a insert mode. Inside the insert mode, you are able to write your code. Once your code is done, you write your code, then just press the escape. Escape is again you come back from insert mode to command mode. Then once you are in command mode, then last third mode is coming to the picture like escape mode. To activate the escape mode, you just press semicolon in command mode, and after that you need to press your quit command. Like WQ is a command to quit your VI editor. It will automatically save your file and quit the VI editor. So now we will see it. So this is a terminal. First I press the command present working directory pwd to know where I am in. So now I am in cprog directory. Then I need to check ls, whatever directory is present there. So new start 2020 and old data directory is present. I need to shift into new start 2020. So that is I press cd and file name and enter. So now I am in new start 2025. Again I check ls cbasics. I need to move inside the cbasics. Then again cd directory name and enter. Now when I press ls, here 3 folder again present, 3 directories, but I need to create a new directory. So that's why command is mkdir, and today we will going to discuss like VI editor and hello world. That's why I write directory name like VI and hello world. So now our directory is created, you can see here. So I need to move inside the directory, then VI. Okay, so now we are here. To open the VI editor, we need to use a command like VI. When we press VI, and after that we need to write a file name. So VI file name, it will create a file if it is not present. If present, it open an existing file. So there no file is present. If you are checking, just type ls, no file is there. Then we need to create a new file, vi, file name is hello world, okay, and .c. Which file we need to create? .c file. That's why with the extension of .c. Enter. So this is a VI editor. Whenever you open a VI editor, by default it is present in a command mode. So to write your code, you need to move from command mode to the insertion mode. To go to the insertion mode, you need to just press I on your keyboard. When I press I insert, it will change the status from command mode to insert mode. You can see here downside it is in insert mode. So now you are ready to write your code. So we'll write first code, that is hello world code, hash include. First we add the header file, hash include stdio.h, that is system header file. Then there is no need to declare any global variable for printf. That's why I directly write a main function, open braces, curly braces, close curly braces. So inside this open and close curly braces, we need to write our logic. What we need to write? We need to write a hello world code. So that's why we directly use a printf function to print anything on a monitor. So in the double colon, whatever you write, it will as it is printed on the monitor. So that's why what we need to print, we need to print hello world. So I write hello world, and once you write a hello world, and if you compile this code and print on a monitor, it will print, and the next command is continuously with this line. So that's why we use slash n word. What slash n will do, slash n is work like it will shifted your cursor to the next line. So that's why whenever you add a slash n, your cursor is shifted from first line to the next line. So that's our code is ready for hello world. So I save it. Whenever you need to save the code, you need to again come back from insert to command mode. So to come back from insert mode to command mode, you need to press escape. Once you press escape, you will now in a command mode. And now the last mode come into the picture, that is escape mode. To on the escape mode, just press the semicolon, shift and semicolon. Then you need to write a quit command, that is WQ. When you type a quit command and enter, it will quit your VI editor and automatically save your file. When you check, your file is here, that hello world. So now I remove this first a.out file. That a.out file is executable file. Now you can check, just only a .c file is present. So once your code is written, now after that you need to compile it. To compile, that Linux environment provide you a GCC compiler. To compile in a GCC compiler, you need to add a command like GCC, or just you can type a CC, both are fine. When I have typed the CC, then you need to type your file name, hello world, and enter. When your program is fine, then it directly compile. After that, you can check your executable file is ready. Once to run the executable file, you need to run in present working directory. So to show the present working directory, you need to press // and after that your file name. Now it will show here, you can see hello world is printed on your window. So now we will see if you miss any syntax, if you do any mistake, how it will show. So now we will open our code, and now I forgot to add a semicolon after the printf. What it will show? So if I forgot to add a semicolon after printf, then whenever you compile your code, it will throw an error, because you can see error expected semicolon before the curly braces, and also line number it will show 8.1. So we will go, and if we correct it, it will not throw any error. So that is a hello world program. Again compile it, successfully compile. So this is a hello world program. When we write the hello world program, it will hello world. If you want to write anything else, you can write. So for example, same code, just I remove the hello world and I will write here to welcome the eTechnoMantra. So if you want to change, so welcome eTechnoMantra. So now if you write anything inside it, it will print, compile it, cc file name and a.out. Welcome eTechnoMantra. So whatever you need to write, you can write. So this is a printf program, hello world program. Now we write the hello world program. compile it and execute it. We use the GCC compiler provided by a Linux environment for compilation of our code. So the GCC compiler convert our C program to the machine understandable program. So how the compiler convert our code from C language to machine understandable program, now we will see. So that's why our next topic is compiler. So we already write one C program, that is hello world program. We compile it and we generate the a.out file, that is machine understandable file, and we run it. When we run a.out file, we saw that is a hello world printed on the window, that is console. So now we will see how it will happen, how the .c file converted into the a.out file, that is a machine understandable file. So now in this scenario, the compiler come into the picture. So what is a compiler? The first point you need to know, that is what is a compiler. So compiler is one program which convert the high level programming to the low level programming. That means the compiler is one program which is convert .c file into the machine understandable file. Okay, so that is a compiler work. It will convert your program into the machine understandable program. So now the compiler having the two major types, that is native compiler and cross compiler. So what is a native compiler and cross compiler? So first we see the native compiler. So native compiler is a compiler which is work in one environment and generate the machine understandable for a same environment. So for example, like GCC compiler and Turbo C compiler. Okay, so this is two compilers there, GCC and Turbo C. So GCC is related to Linux and Turbo C is related to Windows. So for if we compile our .c file in GCC environment, then it is only executable in GCC, that is Linux environment. And if we compile our file in Turbo C compiler, then this file is only executable in Windows environment. If we compile the file in GCC environment and if we try to execute in Windows environment, it is not possible. It is throw an error. If we compile the file in Turbo C compiler and if we try to execute in Linux environment, then also it's throw the error. That's why the native compiler is a compiler which is working in one environment, if it is working Linux or Windows or Windows. So this native compiler is a compiler which is working in one environment and generate the machine understandable file for the same environment. So that is a native compiler. So next is a cross compiler. Now cross compiler is a compiler which is work in one environment and generate the machine understandable for a different environment. So for example, like Keil. So Keil is a software which will provide us a GUI to write the embedded system code. Once we write the embedded system code in Keil, then Keil compiler convert this embedded system code into a machine understandable language which will be executed in another system. For example, if we write the code for 8051 microcontroller, then what the scenario is, we write a code in our system, means system having a different environment. If we write in a Linux environment, the Linux environment, and when we compile this file, it will generate one hex file. And this file we can execute in 8051 controller. So 8051 controller is a different environment. So that is a cross compiler will do. Cross compiler what do? It will compile the machine, your program into a machine understandable program, which will work in a different environment. That's why the cross compiler is a compiler which will work in one environment and generate the machine understandable file for a different environment. So that is a two, native compiler and cross compiler. I think so you are clear with this two type of compiler, native and cross. So now when we compile any .c file, it will proceed to the different stages. It will proceed to the different stages. So now if we compile any .c file, it will follow this stages. First is go into the preprocessor, then it's go into translator, assembler, linker, and then finally it's generate the a.out file, that is machine understandable file. So now we will see the different stages of compiler. So the first stage in this compiler is preprocessor. So whenever you compile your any .c file, it will first go to the preprocessor stage. So now we will see what is the preprocessor stage will do. So preprocessor stage is responsible for adding a header file. it will add a header file, whatever header file we include like stdio.h, it will include this header file inside the source code. Also it will remove the single line comment, double line comment, and it will replace the micro definitions. So the three works done by this preprocessor. Preprocessor add the header file, replace the micro definitions, and remove the comments, single line comments or multi-line comments. So now if you want to compile this your source code .c file step by step, then there is a command to compile your file, that is .c file, to .i file. .i file is a preprocessor file. So command is cc hyphen e. We will take file name as a code.c. So code.c is our file. Now we need to compile this file into preprocessor. For this the command is hyphen o. Again write this name code.c and code.i. So code.i. So this command generate the preprocessor file. So if you use this command cc hyphen e code.c hyphen o code.i, so this command will convert your .c file to .i file. That is a preprocessor file. So when you open this file, you see all this, whatever I say. It added a header file, it removed the micro, it replaced the micro definition, it removed the single line or multi-line comments. So that is a preprocessor. Once preprocessor stage is done, then your code move to the next process. So that is a translator. Next step is a translator. So now the translator responsibility start. Once the preprocessor get done properly, then it will move to the translator. And the translator responsibility is check the syntactical error. If you miss any syntax, then the translator stage is responsible to identify it. So for example, I add a semicolon after the printf statement. Then it will throw error, because in translator state it is identified, that is you miss some of the syntax. So syntactical error is checked, syntax is checked in a translator stage. Also translator stage is most important because it's convert your C program to the ASM program, that is assembly language program. So it convert your C program to ASM program. So for this also command is present, that is cc hyphen s. Then already we create a .i file, then use this hyphen s, then code.i file, then again hyphen o, and now we will need to convert into the translator file. Then that's the translator is code.s. So .s file means it is a translator file. So that is a .s file. So now once you write this comment and you compile your code to the next stage, then you can see by opening this file, your all code is converted into a assembly language. So ASM language, translator will convert your C language to ASM language. Then once the translator do his work successfully, then your code go to the next stage, that is assembler stage. So this is most important. In assembler stage, what assembler do? Assembler convert your ASM code to the opcode, that is machine understandable code. So once your translator is done, assembler check the code, that is all code is ASM, and then it's convert the assembly language code into the opcode, that is machine understandable code. So that is the work of assembler. For this also command is present like cc hyphen c, then code dot, last one we need to use yes, that is a translator code, and again we use hyphen o, that is code of .o. .o means it is assembler code. Once you open this .o file, you are able to see that is your code is converted from ASM to machine understandable language, that opcode, different opcode is there. Then next is a linker. When your assembler is done, assembler work is done, then your code move to the fourth stage, that is linker stage. So what linker will do? Linker will add all the libraries file which is useful for your code. Then it adds a library file, it adds some system file which is needed for, if you use the GCC compiler, then it is added the Linux system file. If you use the TurboC compiler, it is added Windows system file. So the linker is responsible for link a system file and library file. And once it is done, then it is generate the machine understandable final executable file. Okay, so now for this also the command is cc code.o. When you type this command, is generate the output file, that is a.out file. So once you write, it is generate one a.out file. So this is all our compiler stages. So 4 stages are there: preprocessor, translator, assembler and linker. Now I think so you are more clear with the compiler, what is compiler and what is the different stages of compiler. So we will see this all different stages of compiler and their command in our Linux environment, how it is executed, how the preprocessor file look like, how translator file look like, how assembler file look like, and how final executable file. So we will see in our Linux environment by executing each command step by step and by converting our .c file in each step. So we will move to our PC screen. Already we discussed about the compiler and their different stages. So stages like preprocessor, translator, assembler and linker. So now we will see how the file get compiled in between different stages. So we will take the example of hello world.c file. So we already write this file. We add hello world.c. So this is a hello world.c. I modified this file to check each and every stage of this compiler. So we added here some multi-line comment. So if you want to add the multi-line comment, you need to use this two syntax like /* and */. If you write in between this /* and */ symbol, that data is considered as a comment. So how many number of line you can write between this syntax. So whatever comment if you want to write, you can write between this multi-line comment syntax. So I write here like developed by Technomantra, code hello world, file name hello world.c and like this. So then the next stage here I added one micro. So hash define uint, and uint is replaced with unsigned integer, and here I use this micro, uint micro. So what is micro and all we will see when we will discuss the micro topic in detail. So in this moment, just to understand this what I modified. So I modified one micro here, I added one micro definition and I added multi-line and single line comment. So if you want to add a single line comment, you just need to put double slash. After double slash, whatever data you will going to write, it is considered as a comment. So this is not a logic, it is not a considerable, it is just a comment. So now we will see the stages of compiler step by step. So first stage is preprocessor. So what is the responsibilities of preprocessor? So preprocessor removes single line and multi-line comment. Also it replaces the micro definitions. Means what? It replaces this uint with unsigned integer. It's replaced this uint with unsigned integer. So, and the third point is it add the header file information. So preprocessor stage add the header file information. So we will see it practically how it will be. First we compile normally that our code is correct or not to check. So I use hello world.c and I compile. So now it's compiled successfully. If you can check, executable file is here. So now we execute ./a.out. Okay, welcome to eTechnomantra. I is equal to 10. Whatever you want to print, it is printed here. So our code is fine. So now I remove this executable file, remove a.out. So now you can check only hello world.c file is present. So now we will compile this file with our preprocessor command. So what is the command? Command is like cc -e file name is hello world.c. So we need to convert the .c file to the preprocessor file, that is .i. So -o, so we'll give here hello world.i. So .i is a preprocessor file and enter. So now it's successfully compiling .i file. If you can check, hello world.i file is created. So now we will open this file hello world.i. Okay, so this is a hello world.i file. If you can check here, they added all the library information. You see here stdio.h is here. Also if some other header file also is added which is related to stdio like features.h and all. So in preprocessor stage they add all the header files. You can see here the number of data header files like function prototype, micros, everything data they added in the preprocessor stage. So preprocessor stage will add the header file informations and it's remove the single line and multi-line comment. So if you can see here, the before main we write one multi-line comment, so it is not present here. And also after this printf
unsigned integer, we write a single line comment. This comment also get removed. So that is the first point. It's removed of multi-line and single line comment. Second point, it's added a file. It's already added the stdio.h, whatever we include. And the third point is it's replaced the micro definition. We can see we write here a uint. It's replaced the uint with unsigned integer. So all the 3 points I discussed with you, it's practically we can see here. So the next stage of compiler is a translator. So responsibility of translator is to check the syntactical error and convert your C program to ASM code, that is assembly language program. So now first we clear the screen. We already convert our file to preprocessor file, that is .i file. So now we forcefully add some syntactical error in our file. So I open the hello world file. So this is our hello world file. So forcefully I added one syntactical error. I remove this column, semicolon, I save it. Okay. So when we save it, we again need to convert this file to the preprocessor, that is a .i file. So this command to convert to .i, we convert. So now it's properly compiled because .i file, that is preprocessor, is not responsible for check the syntactical error. That's why preprocessor is successfully compiled. Now we compile with the translator command. So that is the translator command cc-s hello-world.i -o hello-world.s. So preprocessor file to translator. When we enter it, it throw an error. So error is what? Expected semicolon before printf. So we forcefully remove this syntactical, we add syntactical error forcefully and we remove the semicolon from uint I is equal to 10. So now again we add the semicolon. Okay, so now in our code there is no syntactical error. That's why it successfully compile our file. Now first we need to convert this to .i. Okay, so that is we are going to convert this .c to .i. Preprocessor successfully compile, and when we again run the command for translator, now it successfully compiled because no syntactical error is there. That's why it successfully compiled. So we check here .s file is created. Now we open this .s file. Actually this .s file convert our C code to ASM or not. So this is hello-world.s open. So here you can check. ASM command is replaces pushl, move, subtract, mul. This all are the ASM code, like ASM command, that is main function. Inside the main function, this much of ASM command is generated. If you can see here, all are the ASM command. Okay, so that is a translator. So this translator responsibility is what? The translator responsibility is check the syntactical error and convert the C program to machine understandable program. I think you are clear with this step also. So the next stage is assembler. So what is the responsibility of assembler? So assembler convert your ASM code to the opcode. That is machine understandable code. So now we will see we already convert this code to the ASM in a translator. So now we are going to convert this translator code, that is ASM code, to machine understandable code. So command is cc -c file name hello world dot s to -o. Which file we need to convert? That is assembler. So assembler file is .o file, hello world .o. So this is assembler file. When we execute this command, yeah, successfully compiled. So when you check here, one .o file is created. So .o file containing all the opcode, that is a machine understandable code. So if you open this file hello world.o, here you can see all the opcode are present, like @t, this is the string, all this is a machine understandable language. We can't read it, we can't predict it what it is converted. So this all code are machine understandable code, that is all are opcode. So now in the stage assembler convert this in a opcode. So now I think so you are clear with this stage also. In assembler responsibility is to convert the ASM code to the opcode. Now your code is ready. Just last stage is linker. So what linker will do? Linker link the library and your OS file with your .o file. So the linker is responsible for only add the OS related file and library related file. That's it. Once this stage is done, then when you compile your code, hello world dot c, and when you execute, it is generate one a.out file. Now you can run this file ./a.out. It will print welcome eTechnomantra I is equal to 10. So this all 4 stages is responsible for convert your C language file to machine understandable file. When you open this final a.out file, you can see all opcode is present. A.out file is only containing the opcode. I think so you are clear with all the stages of compiler. So now we will move towards our next.
In this video, we discuss about the Hello World program, C program structure, compiler and different stages of compiler. So if you having any queries regarding any topic, please comment in a comment section. Also, you can reach us through our mail ID or social media accounts. So our social media account information and email ID present in this video description. Please go there and posted your queries. Our team is always looking forward to resolve your problem or queries. Thank you. So in next video, we are going to discuss about different data type present in C language, format specifier, operators and so on. So please keep connected, keep enjoying, keep learning with eTechnomantra. This time to learn theory practically. Thank you. So we will meet in next video. Bye. Have a nice day.